nothing if not a stubborn cunt. There is no way we are playing on this map. Or that one. Ah, Christ. Okay. Yeah. I still... I don't know. I think this might be the, you know, like, in general, I don't really, you know, or at least I try not to, complain too much about mods, because I am fully aware that there is no fucking way at all I could,
The enemy is building up their defenses.
you know,
We will have time to
I couldn't even begin to make something like this, let alone do it for free. And I'm not gonna complain about someone doing free shit for a community that more or less gives them nothing back in return. It's just a bit of a cunt thing to do. So I try not to complain about things, but like you saw yesterday, it was. I don't want to say borderline impossible because I think it was just straight up completely impossible.
Barracks complete.
I'm not sure if maybe that was something to do with the fact that we were playing on
Turret complete.
a 1v1 thing. I don't see why it would. But I'm sort of looking at the enemy's 10 count,
Local units.
and I'm sort of thinking, didn't we have 10 guys? You know what I mean? Sorry, also, warthogs are terrible. As with yesterday, I am only building warthogs for,
Supply pad complete.
I mean, even then, like, look at that. This thing. When I was going through the maps, I said, like, oh, there's no fucking way we can do it on that map.
Local units.
I'm now realizing that this one's equally as bad because, let's be honest, he's not living this.
All units.
And if he doesn't live this, then that means that this base, unless we, you know, can take out his stuff, you know, what killed him very, very quickly, his base is going to become an enemy base. What do you mean your fucking allies' attack failed? Yeah, it was one unit. No shit, it failed.
Fortress upgrade complete.
I also... Is that always there? On the mini-map?
Enemy engagement.
Oh no, maybe it is.
Local units.
Yeah, I also realised, apparently I am, like, completely fucking retarded. I thought this mod was called the Juggernaut mod. It isn't. Anywhere. That's not its name.
Complete.
That's just not what it's called. And I don't know why I thought it was. We do kind of want to move it a bit more forward. Jesus. Yeah, I have no idea why I got the name wrong, to be perfectly honest. It's not even like an understandable mistake. It's just out of fucking nowhere. Just a random word beginning with the same letter. So yeah, I've
Enemy
changed all
engagement.
of that. I also like one of the strangest things about
All units.
just YouTube in general. I've spoken about it
Reactor complete.
Our ally has
You know,
been driven back.
many times. I say so. People watch every single thing that I have ever made, which is just true. Most of the time, I'm doing this just as a way to make me think, because it's very easy for me to just sort of like go on autopilot mode, I guess is what you would say. It's very easy for me to just turn my brain off and not really think about things. Which in, something like an RTS, it's a bit hard to do the S part if your brain isn't sort of turned on. Which, I mean, the hunters, they do be kind of tentacle monsters, so,
Local units.
but yeah, it's like, I don't know what people expect from this channel.
Chain gun researched.
People out here commenting shit like, oh, this will be, better suited if you edit it down to 5 minutes. Like, I have no intention of editing anything, ever. The only time I edit things is if it's like to show a friend something and it's like stitching 2 clips together. I am not a YouTuber, and I sure as fuck do not want to be. And I'm just not ever going to edit shit. Or like bad mic quality. Yeah, I'm using a headphone mic. I mean, it is a Samsung mic. Samsung headphone. The headphones are actually really good. They're like 150 quid. Headphones that I got for like
Gunner
50.
research.
Just like completely random sale as well. But yeah,
Flashbang research.
headphone microphones are, they're known for being great quality,
All
right?
units.
I'm also once again just marveling. Is that a... like, I don't get it. I don't understand.
Turret complete. Enemy engagement.
I am
Grenadier research.
noticing a incredibly big difference. Like when I look at this, I am seeing the same wave that I had as a 1v1 player, right? This is about the waves that we were getting, isn't it? But I also have the AI on my side, and I don't understand how the fuck he's doing it, to be perfectly honest, because like, he is cranking out hunters constantly. He has only just gone on his 3rd upgraded warehouse. So I think we want to do something a bit like that.
Repair kit researched.
Combined arms. It's a very like advanced strategy of just ordering 5 of everything. Then we need this base because once again we need cobras. And realistically, we needed them, 3 minutes ago. maybe a smart thing to do would have just been. Oh no. What do you mean? Oh, we need cobras. Like you've got. You've got a guy spamming hunters right next to you. What what do you need cobras for? But we are definitely going to need cobras. There is no way that we're dealing with scarabs with that. As much as I would love to.
All units.
I could have swore that was an attack, not a move.
All
But
units.
uh,
All units.
I would like Gorsk. Oh, we're gonna have to bite the bullet and do it
All
eventually.
units.
Allied forces moving in.
Reactor improved.
Oh, Christ. I don't like doing it, but at some point you do kind of have to say, like, that's a lot of rates.
All units.
Could get. I'm gonna pull that command in. I'm gonna see if we can just steal a tank or two. Oh, that is not even worth stealing that, let's be honest.
All units.
So I think we max out the 3 main units that we use it.
All units.
Being realistic, we have this base. Assuming nothing in this wave is too bad. Nearest spawn is this guy, so you steal that. You steal that. I would. I never. Oh, it's done anyway. I was gonna say I never remember if
All
Carpet
units.
Bomb has friendly fire issue. I'm gonna steal this.
Gauss cannon. Research.
Oh, you cunt! What the fuck are you doing? Why have you got this back here?
All units.
I genuinely don't understand how the AI does it.
Oxide tank. Research.
Like, it just feels as though it makes units quicker than I can. I just feel like it is impossibly quick. I mean, we're in like full unit production, and I still feel like he's producing more units than we
Our
are.
ally is launching
Also, sometimes the game does that. That's not a mod thing. That's just the game being.
All units.
Oh please, zone. Okay.
All units.
Yeah, he's dead.
Local
He's dead.
units.
They should be able to weather this, so we're gonna kinda come and. But like, you see what I mean? I just think that the Wraith spam is a bit too much. I think that the initial anti-infantry spam is a bit too much. It needs like maybe the initial part needs like halving, and there's like 25% less, or I'm just bad. Just skill issue.
All
And
units.
you know, could
I'll
be.
get it.
Definitely be.
All units.
To say I'm not the best at this game by any means. I'm no fucking authority on it. Yeah, alright, I've got about 300 hours in,
All units.
you know, the Steam version. This game on Xbox 360 as well. But I'm no
New blood.
professional or anything like that. I just
All units.
play this game for fun. We're gonna get Spartan Laser because
All units.
Spartan Laser.
RPG research.
Yeah, I always remember playing the actual Halo game. I forget what mission is, but the one where you get a Gorse Warthog and just get to fucking one-shot all of the Banshees. It's just, I like that mission.
All units.
I'm on it.
Yeah, sure, they're not the most you know, it's what, 750 resources.
Neural implant research.
It's not the best, you know, it's not the biggest investment or anything like that, but it's still.
Our ally says that he is assaulting this position.
All units.
There's just no point in throwing them at something that you know you're gonna lose.
Marines, good to go.
Local units.
I would really like a field armory. The I forget what the name is, but that one upgrade that lets you train units like considerably faster. That would be really nice right now. I mean, I've said that yes, it is important to, obviously.
All units.
I was going to say it's important to be on the offensive in this game. Though, you know, it's a survival thing. You do still need to be pushing as best as you can. You have to push when it's sensible and meaningful to do so. Throwing 3 hunters at a single base is not that. Oh fuck.
Local units.
I want it. Don't get me wrong. It will be a major bonus over the chain gun, but at the same time, we have a very large army. Let's make no mistake. And normally, I would not bother using Marines without the medic upgrade. That's that like fuel rod spam. I don't know how long we're gonna last, especially considering we have basic, you know, level 1 turrets and they don't even have a specialization.
Turret improved.
I am fully aware that I'm sitting here and turtling while my
Turret improved.
ally dies. I fully understand that that's something that I would bitch about and be like, oh fuck the AI, it's so terrible. I am aware that I'm doing that, but at the same time, what am I gonna do? Go and help him? Fucking look at this. I just think that maybe this is not incredibly well balanced. Should we say? That, I mean, I get that on some level, um, it is a survival game mode, and that kind of implies losing. You know, it's if you have something based about surviving, then if you can survive forever, then it's, you know, there needs to be a risk. There needs to be something, you know, adversity to overcome.
The enemy is building up their defenses.
Supply pad.
We
Blah
will
blah,
have time to
like,
prepare.
you know,
Turret complete.
adversity make good feel when overcome. Some bullshit motivational speaker quotes, whatever. I just think that this is a bit too much,
Supply pad complete. Turret complete.
because I don't see how I am ever meant to actually overcome this. Maybe a strat is to rely on turrets, fully upgrade warthogs until I can just build a vehicle depot here. Maybe that's a strat. Maybe that's what I'm gonna try next. Maybe it's just a terrible idea and would waste my time. I will say that I'm gonna train 2 Marine squads for
Yes, sir. Standing by.
hopefully obvious reason. Yeah, 10 enemies.
Knock him down. Moving.
Supply pad complete.
So I think what I'm seeing is that
Flamethrower ready, sir. Standing by.
what we are currently facing,
units.
I am fairly sure,
Flamethrower ready to burn.
is what I faced on the 2v2
Light 'em
map.
up.
Local units.
Moving.
I'm sure I don't need to say, but that's not
Standing by.
Supply
very
pad
good.
complete.
Bravest state.
Local units.
Flamethrower good to go.
Local units.
Light 'em up.
You know, I mean,
Local units.
I don't know if I like that, to be perfectly honest.
Marines ready, sir. Standing by. Moving.
I think that if you're playing a 3v3, each player should get, the same as a 1v1.
Standing by.
It should be a
Moving.
3v3,
Marines reporting for duty.
as in like a
Turret
1v1 times 3,
Standing by. Moving.
not 3 players
Standing by.
in a 1v1.
Light 'em up.
If that makes any sense.
Standing by. Moving. Standing by. Moving.
reactor claimed.
Standing by.
Fuck. I dropped the ball on, what's it calling? I will fully admit, training units. I fully admit that. What's the description of this? Okay. When this dies, I'm going to build what's it?
Turret
I'm going to build a
improved.
siege.
Flamethrower ready, sir.
So you want to go there,
Standing by.
and
Moving.
you want
Moving.
to come
Moving.
over
Moving.
here.
Gunner research. Turret complete.
Flamethrower ready to burn.
Yeah.
Standing by. We're going.
Once again, seeing more waves coming in when we haven't even dealt with the last one completely is a sign that you're just starting to slip, I think.
Fired up.
Local units.
Light 'em up.
Or do I go for repair kit? I go for repair kit, I think. Oh no, because we've got that. Yeah, let's build the turret then. Sorry.
Local units.
I forgot that I... Oh, pet peeves about this game, man.
Flamethrower good to go.
Local units. Fortress upgrade complete.
Flamethrower fueled and ready.
Oh, God. I'm going to do a field armory. The unique position of having 2 reactors on the map is really beneficial.
Flamethrower ready, sir.
Local
Having
units.
1 reactor is
Flamethrower.
kind of not that important. Yes, it helps, especially if you can get it early on.
Light 'em up.
Local units.
But like, it's just
To go.
the amount of base slots that 1 reactor takes up compared to 2 reactors is the same, and so you're not gaining an extra base slot. You're just yes, 100%. Yeah, you're not gaining any extra base slots. You're just sort of saving a bit of economy, which, don't get me wrong, is good and important.
Ready to burn. Sir.
But it's not quite, the complete game changer that having 2 is, for instance.
Turret complete.
Flamethrower on the ground.
Don't get me wrong, it's powerful, but it's
Rolling out initial. Dropping the hurt.
still not enough.
All units.
We're going. Light 'em up. Flamethrower fueled and ready.
Reserves. Research. Local units.
See what I mean? Like, maybe reserves is going to be what allows us to crank out units, increase that production.
Research.
Flamethrower good to go.
Local units.
Flamethrower fueled and ready.
Maybe that's what does it. The other thing is that
Fired up.
I don't really like flashbang as an upgrade.
Flamethrower on the ground.
In all fairness, it is quite noticeable, isn't it?
Flamethrower fueled and ready.
I mean, this is the furthest that we've gotten, I think. No, I think we managed to survive until they had raids, didn't we? I'm not sure, but I think that this is pretty far relative to, our past attempts. It's still, I'm seeing more things coming in while we're still fighting the last ones, and it's really not. Making me positive and this is
Supply pad complete.
God, as if I know how to use words.
Local units.
Yeah, there we go. There's the wraiths. Which I just don't know how we are meant to deal with at this point, because we've had to put everything into. This is once again going to die. I think that this is the best that we could have possibly had. I simply don't think that I could have done any better. And so I'm not sure how I'm meant to do this.
All units.
Don't get me wrong, I prefer something like this better to other thing. You know what I mean, where it's just like, oh, you now. Was it the Promethean one? Where like the Promethean one was really easy, and so it was just like boom, air spam Uber unit, and you're just all dead. I don't know if it was that one or not. But yeah, I prefer like a constant.
Initial coordinates set. Bombing run aboard. Rolling out the carpet.
I prefer it being constantly difficult and shit like that to just survive for half an hour and then you might as well just press resign. I prefer that, but I still stand by what I've said, that the rest of this game, the rest of this mod, has been fairly well balanced. Yeah, the Promethean air thing was a bit bullshit. Fully admit that, but at the same time, you have eyes, and I don't see how I'm meant to do this.
Local units.
I've dropped the difficulty. I played on a map that gives me, 2 free supply pads and 2 free reactors, which is massive. And even then,
Local
we're still
units.
getting fucked.
Local units.
I guess the best way to, and maybe an inspiration for this one, to describe it is, I want something like the end of Reach. I want that. We might as well just concede at this point. Yeah, I mean, look at this queue to get into our base. Go on then. I'm gonna leave it like that, actually. Okay. So I'm going to do what we said. I'm going to try and weather this first attack. And upgrade the Warhogs. And just go straight into a vehicle depot.
The enemy is moving quickly and aggressively, and will try to
Supply
attack us
pad
before
complete.
we're ready.
But yeah, I want something like the End of
Complete.
Reach. Where it's a survival thing. And you're kinda... like, you're destined to lose. But at the same time, you feel like you always have the ability to win. If that makes sense. Like, the End of Reach, you feel
Supply
overwhelmed.
pad complete.
Right? You feel like you're up against impossible odds,
Turret
which I
complete.
sure as fuck do at the moment. But you never feel like the game... you know, it sends one wraith at you. It doesn't send 5 at a time. And that's what I want. You know, I want something
Supply pad complete.
that's gonna give that feeling of, you know, like being outclassed, being overrun, but not being just instantly killed within 10 minutes, like this currently is. As I said, this mod is, for the most part, pretty good.
Supply pad complete.
It is only this part that I'm like, oh, the balancing is a bit fucky. We do want to train some Warhogs for when they get upgraded. Good old fucking Civ technique. But yeah,
Reactor complete.
I'm also realizing part of the issue is we can't do what's it called? I'm also realizing that we're going up against hunters. First they spam... do we go air?
Gunner researched.
That's like... for one, I don't like how we're not being attacked. Oh, fucking jinx that, Jesus Christ.
Local units. Fortress upgrade complete.
I think we go air. Yes, air is weak against infantry, but they're hunters.
Local units.
But I mean, we're... do I go for a fucking field armory? That would be the
Reactor complete.
most fucking retarded play I could make. But it might be
Turret
kind of funny,
improved.
and it might work.
Turret improved.
Warthog, good to go.
I would really like an elephant, actually. Can I have this? Can you just give this to me? But yeah, once again, I thought that I was making it more interesting by playing a 3v3.
Airpad complete.
I thought that would make it like bigger and better, because number bigger, very simply, I just thought, you know, that obviously 3v3 is going to have the best one, right? But I just don't think it is. I think that 3v3 is easiest,
Grenadier
100%.
researched.
I personally think that, you know, once again, I am not saying this to shit on the mod. Obviously, I'm enjoying it. I've played it for like,
Our ally reports that he is
I
attacking
don't know,
the enemy
5+ hours at this point, which is more than some other mods. Let's, you know, be perfectly honest. Um, you know, I do really enjoy this game mode, but if I was doing it, I mean, for one, I wouldn't rush in with an elephant first. I would probably lock that back down here so I
Reactor
can use
improved.
it as a
Our
barracks.
ally
But
attacked unsuccessfully.
it's the AI for you. Yeah, I would have it so that all of these base slots, like this one, currently doesn't make anything. This isn't producing any units, and neither is like the ones over here. Anything past this point, even this one, isn't making anything. This one pumps out stuff,
Base under
as we
attack.
can tell from there. This one pumps out stuff, as we can clearly see from there. This one does as well. But I wish that it was every single one of these base sites. They've all got the Covenant bases, and I wish that the waves would be evenly split between them, and that the 2v2 enemy counter would be double that of a 1v1. The 3v3 would be triple of a 1v1. And so
Our
every
ally
single
says that he is
base.
assaulting this
Oh
position.
no, Blue, don't do that. Oh god. Okay. Yeah, I want more even and from everywhere, essentially. And also, I would appreciate it if, you know, this was lessened.
Gauss cannon. Research.
I guess it kind of does that, because if the 3v3
Enemy
is
engaging.
doing the same enemy count as the 1v1 is, sorry, then it is splitting it between 3 bases. I wish it just did that for like every single base that's on the map. Assuming that he can hold off what's at his base, which
Wingman. Research.
I'm not sure. But yeah, if he, oh no, because he's fucking running away. Fair enough. I mean, defending this is important. Oh, I miss having
Our allies
reserves.
attacked
What are you doing? I'm gonna make a comment, and I don't know if it's true at all.
Base under attack.
But the AI seems to really struggle with this game, in my opinion. It's just like, what is it doing? Like, what?
Our ally has been driven back.
What is the purpose of that? I know why Blue came all the way over here to attack this. And that's because he didn't know that that base was there. Because technically to him, it's just an empty build site.
All units.
God, do I feel confident enough? No. Which is why I'm going to sort of come this way. And
All units.
because this is coming for us soon. Make no mistake.
All units. All units.
Was I being too stubborn? Is that what the problem is? Maybe I was, right? No. Yes, maybe I was. Maybe I just
All units.
shouldn't have been, you know, so hell-bent on flamethrower spam. But at the same time, once again, we have this,
All units.
you know, this is a third of what we were facing. And I think that we just would not have been able to, unless we got 3 reactors and shit like that.
All units.
Unless we had shit like that, in which case maybe we would just about be able to. But I don't think we could have done this outside of a 3v3 where everything is so much easier. I seriously don't understand the AI sometimes.
Local units.
Fully aware that I'm leaving shit next to my base, doing that just in case anything else trickles in from elsewhere. I always forget how shit Hornets are at taking out bases. It always just... You know, it feels like they should do more. They're really good against other units. But then you try and take out a base with them and it's like falling asleep. I'm so glad that the like the standard template for these doesn't include a
Repair kit.
shield
Research.
generator, because I'm going to upgrade it just because I want to see what comes after it.
Our ally
Simple as
attacked
that.
unsuccessfully.
Yeah. So yellow's dead. Blue is doing good. I mean, it is possible that we could push them back to here. They do only have 2 bases, because let's be honest, that's fucked.
Base under attack.
Yeah.
Our allies
Oh, come on, don't go at the speed of the fucking Sentinel. You can overtake it, don't worry. I'm gonna get a fucking speeding ticket or like that.
In my sight. Bombing run aboard.
I'm not using a carpet bomb. 600 resources for 600 worth of Wraith is... I just don't think it's worth it.
our ally has been driven back.
Our ally has been driven back from fucking where? Here? Yeah, no, he has been driven back. Fair enough. We want a vehicle depot, we want that station. We need to get turrets on that as soon as possible.
Our ally attacked unsuccessfully.
Warthog, good to go.
Station upgrade complete.
I don't know what these are from. Could be a Halo Wars 2 thing. Said before, but I have not played Halo Wars 2.
Vehicle depot complete.
Because I'm not paying 50 quid for it. Simple as that. I just... not worth it to me, personally. Right. I have to hope that there are no air units, no Banshees coming over to attack this.
All units.
So very well could be, just like that. kind of regretting buying those
Field armory complete.
Yes, sir. Moving out.
2 Sentinels, because Jesus fucking Christ, they're slow and they slow everything else down.
Reporting for duty.
Is the issue.
Yes, sir.
Because everything else travels at the speed of those 2 Sentinels.
Napalm adherent research. Supply pad.
So you
complete.
can go and got a great mission for you.
Hornet. Gyros rotated. Attacking.
Oh god. Yeah.
Attack failed.
Enemy engagement.
I don't think they're gonna be make or break, should we say?
Local units.
Maybe they will be, but
Hornet on station.
I
I'm on station.
personally don't see that happening.
Fortress upgrade complete.
And the thing is, I'm now sort of getting to that point where, oh, for fuck's sake.
Hornet here. Hornet.
Enemy
underway.
engagement.
Target acquired. Heading out.
Supply pad complete.
Yeah, I'm getting to that point where I sort of feel like, oh, we're going to be able to snowball. Which, once again, is not what I want.
Tell me where. Weapons on. Weapons hot.
I don't want to feel like I can just,
Barracks complete.
you know,
Turret complete.
overtake the AI. That's not what I want. I want that sort of,
Local units.
you know, feeling of like, oh, am I going to be able to do it? Am I not? I want that feeling, and you know, I get that it's
Base
a
under
single
attack.
person,
Regeneration.
you know, a single lone individual doing this,
Turret complete. Supply
and
pad.
that you can't really expect,
Local units.
you know, I was going to say AAA balancing standards, but let's be honest, you know,
All units.
maybe that doesn't quite mean as much as boy, fine. I think we're dead. Blue's dead. We're about to be.
Hornet. Good to go.
Because I need to take out that. But at the same time,
All units.
I mean, they should be able to get rid of this fairly quickly, right? It's not that much, and Hornets are pretty good against Wraiths. There's no way. So I'm going to do what probably everyone has been thinking of, why don't you just build vultures?
Hornet in the air. Regeneration. Healing targets.
Reactor improved.
Yeah. Maybe we could have.
A base has been destroyed.
You know, it's entirely possible I could have gone and saved them. Do I care? Do I really care, is the question. And I don't think I do. I think that it's more important to... Well, no, I don't. And I've proven that I don't think it's more important to solidify my own defences time and time again by the fact that half the time I just suicide rush everything out to try and aggressively expand because I find that more interesting. You know, I find that more interesting. I don't even know if we can make a Vulture at this rate. 9 Hornets. It's better than nothing. Did forget to make a turret on the end there. Would have been nice to have.
All units.
Got 4-3 Hornets. It's not that we've got 3 Hornets and nothing else. And... Hey, we might see a Vulture. Oh, there's a repeat. Oh, Hornets.
All units. Turret complete.
Oh, look at that! What a game changer! Look at the health bars go down. Oh, it's chewing through them. Please ignore that health bar in the background. Look, oh, it's doing so much damage.
Rolling out the carpet. Initial dropping the herd.
Oh, they've got locusts. In it, I saw the beam and to be honest, I did think, oh shit, there's a scarab. Never said I was smart. Last stand of the vulture. And then I think I'm done with this specific part of the mod. Until it maybe gets a balance change. Because, like, yeah. It feels like this should be the entire army on the map. Which it probably is, to be fair. Yeah, it is. Aside from one locust up there. This feels like it should be the entire map's army that it spawned in. For 3 players. Not for 1. I think that part of the issue is, you know, this is a very aggressive game mode, right? You start off, and by the time you've built 2 supply pads, you are being attacked. And so, playing as the UNSC, you are sort of, I don't want to say forced, but like coaxed into building a barracks, which is fine. That's normally what I do anyway. But the fact that the enemy jackals, the enemy anti-infantry, are much longer range than your own anti-infantry, it sort of feels like your counter is being countered harder than it's countering by itself. You know what I mean? Like the anti-infantry jackals counter flamethrowers better than flamethrowers counter grunt squads. And I think that having so many anti-infantry things at the start, I think it's just a bit I don't want to say unfair, but I think it should just be grunt spam for the first few waves. And I think that the total needs to be, you know, pulled down a bit. And as I say, maybe for a 1.7, the mod is currently 1.6.2, I think. Maybe a 1.7 could, you know, spread out the enemy forces so it's not all coming in from one area at the same time. And just kind of spread everything out, change the like algorithm for spawning and stuff like that. maybe just slightly tone it back, because as I say, I mean, you have watched me in this video try a 1v1, which failed horribly, a 2v2, which failed, and a 3v3, which I didn't win. Personally, I am considering the like in the description for this game mode, like in the game is a 30-minute survival. At 30 minutes, that's when scarabs start spawning. That's when the Uber units start coming. And so, in my opinion, a win is to get to that point and to kill at least one Uber unit. Maybe like 5 if you're against the UNSC, because vultures are a bit squishy if you have proper counters. This is the closest that we've gotten on the only account that it's, you know what I mean? It's just a third of what we've faced on other all of the other times. I don't know. Maybe I read the mod description. Obviously, um, it does not say anything about best played on 3v3. It just feels like, and once again, I am saying this not to shit on the creator, but to if they're watching, to just sort of like feedback and stuff, and just as sort of like general thoughts. Balancing should not be dependent on maps, right? That's the same reason why is it Arcadia Central? I forget what it is, or the release one. It's why I would never play maps like that online, because you're just gonna get air spam. Because the balancing of those maps is dependent. Sorry, the balancing of the game is dependent on the map in the base game, and that's a big critique that I have for the base game. Is not everything should be able to be flown over. Some things, like the mountains in this map, 100% make sense, but like there should be hard barriers even for air units in the base game. But that's nothing to do with the mod. But yeah, having the game has difficulty options, right? The game has easy, normal, heroic, and legendary, and then legendary plus if you spend 300 hours winning on the automatic difficulty. That's how you should decide, like, how difficult you want the game to be. It shouldn't be dependent on the map. The map should be, I like this one because I like doing the strat where I rush out an elephant and I take it down, like on Blood Gulch, I think it is. Spam an elephant, take it down to the reactor and the supply pad, claim those super easy and stuff like. You should be choosing a map based mostly on just whatever the game decides for me, if I'm being honest. I have some favorites. That's why I never play Frozen Valley. But there are things that I would change, and I think I've made them as clear as I can do without writing a script and doing a 10-hour long like production value for a video that's gonna get at most 500 views, which is fucking surprising. Um, I am used to the Borderlands 3 views of, single figures or single, um, it is always kind of strange to get a notification and it's not from the like. It's kind of hard to describe, but there are just some channels that you feel the desire to comment on more, if that makes sense. There are some channels that just, not because it's like the person spamming comment, but oh, what did you have for dinner? Please tell me. I'm really interested. It's not shit like that. It's just some channels you just have a higher desire to engage with, if that makes sense. And I'm surprised that my audience isn't entirely from those people, but it feels strange to open YouTube and see notifications for comments that aren't replies to a comment that I have left on another video. It's just strange to see, to open like the YouTube Studio thing and see like, oh, this video got 500 views, and it's like, what the fuck? Sitting here for an hour watching me fail? You you want to watch me just be shit at the game? It's just strange to see. But yeah, anyway, I do enjoy this mod, and I think that it does something important, and that's that it tries to be more than just another leader mod or another rebalancing mod. Because, if you go back on the channel, there have been quite a few of them. And if you watch any of those videos, at the end, I will say something along the lines of, this is a cool mod, I like it, I'm going to go and play all the units though, because it's just better. I always say that, I prefer mods that add new content rather than change old content. And this this game mode is more new content compared to a new leader, because some of the Forerunner mods that we've looked at have kind of just been protectors, sentinels, and ghillie spark. There have been things like that, and they're interesting to play, they're fun to have a look at, but after I finish recording, I go into the mod manifest file and I put it back to being all the units. When I installed, when I copy pasted a file directory name, which for a game this old and for a game not meant to be modded, it sure as fuck is really easy to do. But yeah, when I was changing the mod manifest to have this mod, it was on all the units, because I don't have a desire to go and play uh like Forerunner expanded mod, which was pretty good. It was, at least I think it was that one, that had, where you have one big home base, one smaller expansion, and then tiny little outposts. That one was quite interesting, but I've never gone back and played it because I have seen everything that it has to offer. And you can say that about all the units. I have researched every upgrade, built every unit, used every combination, done whatever. 100% I have, and I fully agree with that. But because it has so much content, it's I mean, it's just easier to go back on because there are more things to do. Sure, I might have done them already, but because there are so many different things, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't feel like, oh, I'm just playing the same leader again, which is, you know, the reason why I started playing mods for this game. As I say, I've got about 300 hours in this game on Steam. I've got several hundred more on Xbox 360, but I can't check that for you. Um, I started playing this game modded after about 50 to 100 hours because as much as I love this game, this is my favorite RTS of that I've played. Um, it does start to feel like, oh, I'm just playing the same unit again. Sorry, the same leader again. It did start to feel kind of repetitive. And the leader mods and the rebalancing mods as well do feel that way quite quickly because if you add one or two new leaders, I am saying I'm going to play these two new leaders. Slight rebalancing and tweaks and even new units added to the existing ones. Let's be honest, if this mod was if this didn't have the survival mode, I can't say I would be super interested. And so having this new mode that is unique and does stand out, if I come back to this, it's not going to be a case of, oh, let's play all the units again. It's going to be oh, let's maybe change it over to the judgement mod just to play this. And that's something that no other mod that I've played for this game has done. And so it's one of those things where I fully admit that I hold all of the units above a lot of the other mods. And the simple factor is all of the units has a lot of what all of the other mods have. They have like rebalancing and extra units for each leader and stuff like that. And so things that other mods have are just they've got a fraction of what all the mods have. All the units have, but with just less overall. And it's the biggest mod. It's therefore the most content, which means it's the most replayable. And I fully admit that a part of that is because it wasn't made by a single person. It is an amalgamation of several other mods, um, and those mods are made better and more replayable by doing so. This game doesn't really support installing like two mods as far as I'm aware. I believe that there is like a mod manager for this game or some shit um, that might allow you to, but I don't think it would work, to be honest. All the units, as I said, I really enjoy it, and I think that it is still the best overall mod for this game. Um, it does crash a lot, and the past not the past three videos, but of the past four videos that I've made on this mod in particular, three of them have crashed. On this game mode in particular. And so I would be very hesitant to say it because I know that it would almost definitely crash before the first before you get through the first half hour. But at the same time, I would be really interested to see a version of this that is compatible with all the units. I would love to see this version of the mod in all the units. Sorry, this version of the game mode, whatever you want to call it. I want to see this survival thing with all the units possibilities. And I'm essentially advocating for a monopoly. I fully understand that. I fully understand that I am essentially saying take the biggest and best mod, make it bigger and better. And it would 100% mean that I would have no interest in ever looking at any other Halo Wars mod because it's just going to be worse. I'm going to be honest, other than this mod, there has been like there was a fan translation for I think Vietnamese, maybe. Um, there was that came out a few months ago. I'm not going to play a mod that changes everything to Vietnamese. I I think that it's cool that this game still has a community that would, have a use for such a mod in this, day and age. Like having that exist is pretty cool. At the same time, it's not for me as someone who doesn't speak Vietnamese. And so, other than that mod, the last time something was updated was like over a year ago at this point. It was like, I think May 2022. Um, a lot of the mods, um, there was like a peak in interest um, in that one period where everyone suddenly had a load more free time a couple years ago. Can't remember what caused it though, but that period that was like all the units getting updated, a new update every month or so, and that was really cool to see. All the units has not been updated for about 2 years at this point, and fully admit that could just be because they're finished with it. They have just no desire to put anything new in, and I would fully understand and respect that. This mod, um, as I say, I uploaded the video and went to check because I thought it was called like I can't remember. I admit that I got the fucking name wrong. Call it a Juggernaut instead of the Judgment mod, but I thought it was something completely different. I thought the file that had downloaded was called like something completely different compared to the like the Nexus mod page. Almost like the person had like how when you make something, you kind of I know what this random key mash means, and so I don't need to name things professionally. Um, it kind of felt like they'd they'd done that. So when I went to check it, that was on the 11th of November. I saw, oh, this mod's been updated. I played, I think it was the 1.3 or the 1.4, and it had gone through, when I downloaded it, from the time of downloading to playing it, because I did kind of forget that I got it installed, sorry, downloaded. It had gone through, it skipped over 1.5 entirely. That had come and gone. Fairly sure that 1.4, if that's not what I was playing on, then I think there was a 1.4.1. But there was at least 2 updates between, that I just completely missed. And when I uploaded that first video on it, that was the same day as when it got updated, and it got updated 4 days ago too. And so this is a mod that's in active development, um, and that's kind of why I've talked about like what I would do with it. The changes I would make to the waves and to the balancing and to this and that is because I could go into all the mods and I could just talk shit about everything. I could say, change that, change that, change that. And it doesn't matter because it's not in active development. And so what I say has zero impact. Realistically, I have 80 subs on YouTube. Anything I say has zero impact. But I think that this mod is not finished. It's not. This isn't going to be the final update. I don't think, at least personally. Um, and I think that period is when you should get the most feedback, right? Because we've seen the Covenant Survival and how just difficult it is. And so, maybe that needs to be slightly altered before the mod is completely finished. Also, if I knew anything about modding, I would try and smash this and all the units together, but there is no way that I could do that and have it work. My coding experience is slightly changing my own Factorio mods. Going into like PyCol and just tweaking a few numbers, copy pasting things, and changing it to make new recipes. That's the extent of my knowledge. Is bug fixing and getting Factorio mods to work together. And last time I played Factorio, or tried to play Factorio, I couldn't bug fix it. I spent 2 days staring at code and said, like, fuck it. I'm not gonna learn how to code, get a fucking computer science degree just to play a game that will take me 1,000 hours to complete. But yeah, that I would love to see it, but I'm not sure if it will ever happen.